At 99 problems, but a 6 million signing ain't one. Hit me. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And yes, hit that like button. We're not going to beg throughout the entire video, but we will ask you to do it just once. So please, hit that button. And if you feel like some gaming, just uploaded Silent Hill this short message. So I'm going to keep this message short and sweet. Go and subscribe to Fog Gaming and watch some horror gaming content. But now on to the real horror show. That is Rangers Football Club and their transfer finances. They don't have much, so yeah, it's a short conversation, just like Silent Hill. But yeah, Lennon Miller is being valued at £6 million, according to Mr. Steve Mcfadden.
It's no Phil Mitchell.
It's no EastEnders.
That's James, mate.
That's James, mate, aye.
That's James Kenny.
How can you forget the name of the guy that... Fucking hate James Mcfadden was my hero growing up. And
Phil Mitchell's alright.
He is, but he's not...
Phil Mitchell, right?
He never scored for 40 yards against France.
No, but he's carried EastEnders for 40 fucking years, so...
Well, Mcfadden carried Scotland in that 2007, 2008, European World Cup qualifying.
That one. Anyway, right. Lennon Miller. We're here. International break. Transfer window is obviously a long way away. But we're here to talk about Rangers reportedly interested in Lennon Miller. That was ahead of the season. That was reported on the 10th of July. And the question is, why wouldn't Rangers... You see somebody like this, you sign him the earliest you can because he's just going to go up in price. It makes no sense to hold back. Hell, if Rangers bought Lennon Miller and loaned him straight back to Motherwell, I'd even turn around and say, that's a smart deal.
I'm pretty sure I heard someone on the rabble say, why pay that money for Miller when we can just promote our youth? Maybe because there's nobody in the Rangers youth that looks as good as Kenny.
I totally agree. No one looks as good as Lennon Miller. Bailey Rice was highly thought of. He hasn't got... I agree. I think Rangers should utilise the youth more, but the reality is Lennon Miller walks into that Rangers team.
True, but here at one time, Alex Lowry looked like he was going to be the next big thing.
He did, and that's kind of fair.
But for me, Lenny Miller's actually proven it in the top flight, and he's done it consistently.
You watch him on the TV. I've watched him a few times in the flesh. He's a good player. You can tell.
And I just believe that if he was going to be signed by Rangers, I think they'd have done it by now. Yes. I think we're getting to the period where he's out of Rangers' price range, especially if what Mcfadden is saying is true, because I could maybe see Rangers paying a couple of million for this guy. I think once you get to 5 million and beyond, then that will price Rangers. If Rangers are paying 5 million, they're looking for an established, I think, player in his prime. I don't think Rangers are paying 6+ million for a guy in the Scottish League.
No.
Who's only 18.
No.
Although you could argue it makes more sense because he's got his whole career and you got the sell on.
Yep.
So you could argue it's actually worth more and they should do it. But I just think Rangers will pay 6 million for a player. I just don't think they'll pay 6 million from somebody who's coming from Motherwell.
Yeah, I think the only position in the league they'd pay that amount of money for is a striker. But then with Shankland, they wouldn't pay like 3, which makes no sense to me. But anyway, they were discussing it on Sky Sports during the Ross County Celtic coverage. And Chris Boyd said, I don't know, what would Motherwell be looking for? 3 million! Aidan McGeady chimed in, 3 to 4 million. Yeah.
But McFadden, he scoffed at that.
No, come on, guys, that's a red. Come
on, guys, that starts at 6 million.
Come on, start at 6 million. Now, I get it, he's a Motherwell man, right? Even though I think he's definitely...
I think that's debatable. I think he wears the green tinted specs these days, but he says start at 6. So he's not even saying here 6 million buys you.
Aye.
He's basically saying 6 million gets you in the conversation.
Yeah, now, if we head over to Transfer Market and we look at his current market value, it's 1.6 million.
Yeah, but do we really have any, value in Transfer Market? Are we going to
Not really, because Transfer Market, a lot of people use it, and I think it's good for stats, but when it comes to actual transfer values, I think it's ridiculous. You know why? Because it doesn't factor in contract lengths or like when they're expiring, and for me you've got it. It's still got James Tavernier sitting at around 8 million. Who the fuck's paying 8 million for James Tavernier?
Transfer, I think you get more reliable values on FIFA.
Aye.
Why don't you load up FC25 and see what maybe we should sign him for Aberdeen career mode.
Maybe. Well, yeah, we could definitely afford it. Now they went on to discuss it, and Chris Boyd was talking...
Not if it's James Mcfadden managing Motherwell.
Nope, but Chris Boyd was baffled that Rangers haven't moved for the wee man. And then they went on to talk about the fact that there's a reluctance to go and proper spend money on players from other teams in Scotland, which prompted these three McFadden, McGeady and Boyd kind of going like a 20-minute rant about how, there's no access to pitches and the youth's being neglected. All that shite.
See, I think there's a case to that. I remember when I was younger, man, you'd see people playing football.
Don't really see it these days.
It's very... The only time I ever see people playing football is when it's like an actual organised game. And you have coaches stuff there, like parents are actually there to like referee or, coach a game, and it's an actual match between two sides. But in terms of people actually taking a ball and going to, I don't know, is that extinct?
I don't think it's extinct, but
even playing football in the street, you never really see anybody. That's the point they made. And
there is there is a lot of pitches that are padlocked. There's a lot of pitches that have got fences around them, etc., etc. And there's also a lot of pitches that you have to pay to get on.
True, but let's be honest, back in like Boyd's day, like, you know what I mean, people didn't have the technology, they weren't going on an iPhone and shit like that.
Yeah, some people would just rather...
Do you like the PlayStation? I like the PlayStation. Well, maybe Chris Boyd wasn't a big PlayStation fan. Now, he probably lived in the Nintendo or the Atari days, I'd have to imagine.
Nah, what is Chris Boyd, 41?
So he probably had an Atari or a Nintendo or something like that. Maybe he even had a wee Game Boy growing up, but you look at it now and it just... I mean, all these like apps and shit like that, just people aren't interested.
Yeah, I feel like in England, right, in the top leagues in Europe, it's going to be pushed on a lot more because there's so much money in it.
Aye, I mean,
see, like the Premier League, like their academies, like, say they go to a school, it's like, here, even if I become pish, I could still make big bucks, sort of thing. But I don't know, I just don't think it's that much pushed. But for me, for Lennon Miller, he's got through. He is good. He's great. Now we're going to put our valuation on Lennon Miller. 18-year-old. I mean, in terms of when does his contract... He just turned 18, so when does his contract run out? 2026. So he's only got 2 years left on his deal, which isn't a lot. I mean, you think Motherwell would probably try and tie him down to something, wouldn't you?
They can. I just don't think these clubs can afford it, or else they would do it, because time and time again, we see players and we're like, why are they not signing him down? Why? I just don't think they can.
Yeah, but I mean, how much is Lennon Miller really on at Motherwell? Or do you think if they offer him a new one, he'll be like, right, give me 10 grand a week?
I just don't think it'll be... It just won't be a viable option for Motherwell.
His stats are 13 games, 4 goals and 3 assists this season. I tell you what, that would rival most players in the league.
100% would. I think if Motherwell want to sell him, they'd be better off getting rid of him in January.
Yes. 18 months left on his deal. You know what? I think 6 million's fair. He's 18. He looks like, honestly, I think he's one of the few players, right, in this league that could get into most teams.
But you know what? It's Motherwell's fault, and clubs like Motherwell's fault, for not showing ambition, right? They should be offering, like, see, because of how highly thought of, and obviously you got Mcfadden, Motherwell legend, saying that he's worth 6 million at least. Motherwell should be offering this guy a new contract, see if it's costing them double, triple. Even if it's costing them quadruple, why are they not giving him the new contract and then they will make it back when they do sell him? But rather, they would just rather keep him on the small contract that he is and not maximise their their sell-on potential. I think it is pretty poor for these clubs.
No, it is pretty poor. But I'm going to value him at... I mean, he's got 2 years left, right? And bear in mind, by the time he does go, it'll be 18 months.
Seeing Football Manager and FIFA, I will sign players that I have no intention of keeping around long term, but I'm thinking, hold on, if I give him a new contract and keep him here for another 3-4 years, in the next window, I can demand more money.
Yes.
I mean, it really is that simple.
No, it is that simple.
Sometimes you've got to speculate to accumulate. Like I don't know what he's on, but just offer him, why don't you say, right, we want to give you a 2-year contract extension, we'll double your wages.
No, I know.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, all I will say is, you look at Miovski, he didn't go for an awful lot more than 6. Is Lennon Miller worth the same as Miovski, goal scorer, who was also young, playing for Aberdeen, proved it in Europe?
Not as young as Miller, though.
That's what I'm saying, so... I'd probably value him at about 5. I think 5 would be fair enough.
Yeah,
I think in an ideal world here, see the days when Motherwell can get 35 million for Lennon Miller, I'll accept it, that would be great, but it's not happening.
No, it's not happening. McFadden says 6. I think they'll be lucky to get 6. I think 3 is more realistic.
No, I agree. I think Boyd. I think, see, when Boyd takes his tinted specs off, I think he speaks a lot of sense.
Aye.
He does.
It's a bit like full football.
But like, we don't have tinted specs. We just speak the fucking truth, and see if people don't like it, piss off. But we won't hide behind a paywall. We won't do any of that stuff.
Take it back. Celtic were phenomenal against Ross County.
They were incredible.
Should have beat them 9-0. Yeah. The opening goal wasn't a lucky deflection, guys. I'm sorry. I take it all back.
It was a great goal.
Alistair Johnson, pure
he
meant
bent
that.
it in for about 90 yards.
Alistair Johnson's a liar. He meant to score that way as 5.
Yanis Hadji should never have been sent off. Silla as well, for all Dundee fans out there. Fucking should have been sent off. Get it right round Dundee. Don't know why I picked on Dundee there, but it is what it is. Lennon Miller, what are you following at? Free?
I don't...
Or do you see free what he goes for now?
I think free's what he goes for. I agree with McFadden.
But you're right, I think they need to sell him. They cannot... I mean, next summer, a year left, you're talking peanuts. It's either... They either need to tie him down now...
Or sell him in January.
Yeah, it's that simple. You know,
But I think Motherwell will do neither.
They got 3 million for Turnbull, and dare I say, Lennon Miller's a wee bit better than Turnbull.
True, but I mean, Turnbull was really good when he left Motherwell. Just
He was.
Celtic career, didn't
He had that big injury. And obviously went a wee bit undetected. Anyway, guys, that is us. That's where we're going to leave it. Hopefully, we can get those pitches open, get the padlocks cut off. The big house must stay open.